Hello. Now, in this lesson, we introduce the concept of finance, specifically handling the topic or the chapter of UIF and VAT, which is commonly known as value added tax. And we will start with value added tax before we get into UIF. What is value added tax? What is VAT? What is it supposed to mean? You possibly have not met it somewhere in a very specific way, but you have met it in a fairly formal way. Like each time you buy an item, there is VAT onto it. Each time you buy an item, well, not all items have got VAT, but a lot of items, or most of the items, basically, for every purchase, more than 50% of what is purchased has got value added tax, commonly known as VAT. So we would like to find out in this lesson, what is VAT? What is value added tax? Well, VAT varies from one country to the other. In some countries, it is known as goods and service tax. Here in South Africa, it's known as VAT or value added tax. It is one of the different, types of tax that the government normally sets on goods and services that people buy and sell. And in very specific terms, value added tax is the amount by which the value of an article, the value of a good, the value of a service has been increased at each stage of its production, distribution, or sale. Think of it this way. You have bought something and you have increased its value, okay? Maybe there is something that was missing and you have fixed. Like you bought a phone that wasn't working, it had some mechanical problem, and after purchasing the phone, you fixed it. What that means is you have added value to the phone. Well, you bought maybe a flat iron. You bought, for example, a car which is not working, not in good condition. You added value to it and you have sold it. Now, each time you add value to a given good or service, the government charges you some money. And that charge is called the value added tax. It basically appears on everything that we purchase. Now, here are some few till slips that you can see for yourself. And if you do have a till slip with you, each time you go to buy some grocery, check carefully. You will see some word VAT written right below the word, below your till slip. Let's look at these few till slips, and we see the items which have got value added tax, and the other ones that do not have value added tax, because not all items are taxed. There are some other items that do not have value added tax. For example, when you look at this till slip, there are around 4 of them here. Of these 4 till slips, all right, let's start with the first one. The first till slip is this one. From what? It's from Sunshine. Now, someone went to Sunshine to buy some items, okay? Now, of the items bought, these are a few. The first being what? The first being vegetable, right here. The first being vegetable soup. The second one being mini tennis biscuit, right here. Then there is this other item, 50g biltong, and there is what? 24-liter VTC food. This is the price. Now, there is some vegetable oil, which is also part of the item which has been bought. This vegetable oil has got this price and there is a star on it, okay? Now, what this star means is that this item here does not have value added tax on it. In other words, you are paying, but you're not paying for the tax. This item does not have any tax on it. In other words, we call it tax exempt. Items that are tax exempt, you don't pay tax for them. Next is yogurt. Yogurt is 5.49. Then there is this brown bread. Also, this brown bread do not have what? Do not have VAT. It's not taxed. You see? Then there is also this milk, low fat, which is what? Which is not having tax. So basically, of the list of items, rather of the items that this person has bought, up to 3 items do not have what? Do not have value added tax. Well, it's a government policy that some items are exempted, some items are not required to pay tax, okay? So for example, a seller do not have to overcharge for that item because they are not paying tax for that specific item. This tax, which is known as the value added tax, is not included. And when you check through, well, here we go. So the rate, this is now the VAT. The rate is 14% always for any item that you purchase here in South Africa. The value added tax, if it's an item which is not tax exempt, then this item has got this value, or which is called tax exempt item. Now, the other items that we can look at are this one here from ABC Spar. Also from ABC Spar, there is item that was, okay, this item has been bought on some specific day. Now, when you check through carefully, here we have milk. This milk is, you know, tax exempt. It's not supposed to be taxed, or it's not being taxed. Also, when you look at this other one here, the next item which is not being taxed is this star bread, the brown bread. So basically, it's like saying, well, tax on bread hurts people. So the government technically does not want to do what? Does not want to levy tax on things like bread, things like milk. You know, that is like one way through which the government protects consumers. The things that people eat the most, they want to make it quite cheap. You see, even in this other third item, the other items here, you see here eggs, and there is also what? There is also baby peas. This one also do not have what? Do not have tax added onto them. Then the other item from general store, you can see the other item from general store here. From general store, there are a number of items written quite clearly. The first one being bread. This bread is tax exempt, meaning VAT is not onto it. VAT has not been put onto it. Then there is what? Then there is this sum 500, short for some item there, and it's 10.39, no tax on it. Then there is this powder milk, each is 3.45, and 5 of them, no VAT on it, no tax. Then there is what? There is this orange. It's like you go to a shop to buy your oranges. Now, an orange taken right from the garden and brought to the market, basically not much value has been added to it apart from washing the cover, you know, washing the container and stuff like that, or maybe just packing it out. You know, there is not much value that has been added onto it. So yes, there are some items that the government will put tax on, and there are some other items that the government will not tax. You see that? So items that are not taxed are called tax exempt items. But items that are taxed for this specific type of tax, they are also indicated. Okay, at the end of the tail slip, you will have the what? You will have the price indicated there. Now, other than this VAT, the value added tax, the definition we have seen, we also want to look at a few more items here. Okay, the what? Now, the specific definitions of VAT exempt item. When we talk of VAT exempt item, which I have highlighted right here. These are items that no VAT is payable on. Okay, you don't pay this value added tax on them. The example that I gave you are these are fruits that you get fried from the garden and it's brought to the shop. You can talk of fruits like what? Like oranges, you can talk of fruits like banana and others. These fruits, they don't have VAT. VAT is not payable on them. Okay, fresh foods mainly, even fresh veggies, okay? Fresh veggies, vegetables, these greens that you eat, for example, French beans and stuffs like that. These ones, no VAT is payable on them, okay? Now, price being exclusive of VAT is when price is listed and VAT is 14%. That is, price being exclusive of VAT by definition is when a price is listed and VAT at 14% has not yet been added to the what? To the price. Because, probably you will find questions where one of the statement will be that the price being exclusive of VAT or the price being inclusive of VAT. If a price is inclusive of VAT, what that then means is the VAT has already been paid on it, okay? This value added tax of 14% has already been charged on that item. But when you see an item that price being exclusive of VAT, that is like the fresh foods that we have been talking about, The item has been sold, but VAT was not charged on it, okay? VAT was not paid on it. This value added tax was not paid on it. So here is one question in an activity that we would like to discuss. The question is that we study the tail slip below and answer the question which follows. Well, what's the first question? And this is the tail slip. Yes, we can make it kind of big. We can make this tail slip big so that you can see quite clearly and really nice. Yes, so this is what we have. So this is the tail slip. Now, a lot of items are indicated here, so many, but as I indicated earlier on, where you see a star, that means these are items that are what? That are VAT, that VAT is not charged on them. The first item being what? Being this other one, cooking oil, Spark cooking oil, no VAT on it. Then the second item being what? The brown bread, no VAT on it. Then another brand of brown bread also no VAT on it. So here is now the question: how many items on the tail slip are not taxable, and how do you know this? Well, 3 items as I indicated. The first is this, the second, and the other one. How do you identify them? With these stars marked on them. Then the other question is, give a reason why these items are not charged. Well, it's mainly a government policy. Sometimes the government want to encourage production of such items, and they do that by removing VAT on them, removing tax from them. So when the government removes tax from some item, it will not be having this VAT tax here. Then, well, the next question here is that a book bought at a seller cost this amount here. So there is some book that has been bought and it costs 398 rands and what? 95 cents. It's inclusive of VAT. We are supposed to calculate the price of the book before the VAT was added. So how do we calculate this? Well, the price of the item is 398, what? 89, rather, 95. So this is the price of the item. Now, this price of item, just use this. This item here with this price, the book with this price, is, they're saying it is VAT inclusive. That is the price of the item plus 14% of that price. You see that? So we'll be having the price of the item initially plus 14% of what? 14%, which is 14 divided by 100. 14 divided by 100 of the original price. That is what we call the what? That's what we call the VAT. So VAT is 14% of the price, and that is added to the price. And what will this be? Well, let's check. The price of the item, VAT inclusive, that is the price of the item plus the VAT. Notice that P represents the price of the item. 14% represents the VAT, and the VAT is calculated from the price of the item. And the overall price has been given as what? 398,95. So how do we proceed? Well, this is going to give us what? This is going to give us P, okay? This is going to give us P plus 0,14 of P to give us 398, what? 95. Yes, that's what we get. We can still proceed. Notice that when we add P to 0,14 P, we get P, rather we get 1, what? 1,14 P. Now equals to what? Equals to 398, what? 95 like that. So that is the price. So how do we then proceed from here? Well, we need to find the value of P. And how do we find the value of P? Well, finding the value of P in this case requires us to divide by 1,14. So it'll be like, well, 1,14 of P, 1,14 of P. We have to divide this by what? By 1,14. So when we divide this, well, let's see. This is 1,14. What do we get? We are going to get 398,95. That we also have to divide by what? That we also have to divide by 1,14. So what will this give us? Well, 1,14. Let's get our calculator right away, and we see what we can get with this. We have got to get our calculator and see what we can get from it. So this is going to be 398,95. That we have to do what? We have to divide by 1,14. What do we get? We get 349. That's the price. Yes, that's the price. So we'll say now this means the price P of the item is 349, what? 349,96. Yes, 96. Yes, this is the price of the item, and we included there. So just a small recap here. The thing is, the book has been given with its own price, okay? And they said it's VAT, it's inclusive of VAT. The price given already includes VAT. That is, the price, which is 398,95, is a combination of the original price without VAT plus 14%. You see that? So it's a combination, it's VAT inclusive. It's the original price plus 14% of the what of the price, because VAT is 14% of the price, okay? So that way we get this amount of money here. Because now when we take 14% of this amount and we add it, we must be able to get what? We must be able to get that value. For example, we can check that without any problem. This is not an important thing, but just to help you understand what we have been doing. Let's say 14%, okay? 14% is 0,14. So 0,14 of what? Of 349, what? 96. Now, this is what we have. Now, this one, we have to add to 349, what? 96. You see, so what we did here is to find the 14% of this price. Then we have to add to that price. What do we get? Well, we get 398.93. You know, we overrounded, but it's supposed to be 0.95. So the 14% plus this price gives us what? The VAT inclusive price. Yes, that's how we calculate questions involving this VAT tax. Now, when we look at this next question here, the next question is asking for something. Let's see it right away. This is 2.2. Now, question 2.2, they're saying a man buys 4 new tires for his motor car. Now, each tire costs 972 rand. VAT exclusive, it's not part of the VAT. Calculate how much he will pay for his new tires. Okay, so there are 4 tires, right? Yes, there are 4 tires. So what we are going to do is we first have to get the total price for the 4 tires. So what's that supposed to mean? Well, that's supposed to mean this price here, which is this price here, which is 972, okay? 972, we have to multiply it by 4 so that we get the price for all the 4 tires. What will this be? Well, let's check what's going to be. This is what? This is 972 that we have to multiply with 4. We get 3,888. So let's put this one right here. So this is going to be 3,888. Yes, that's the price. Now, this is what this man is supposed to pay without tax, without the VAT tax. But if the VAT tax is included, then what we are going to have is going to be this amount of money, okay, plus 14% of that same amount of money, because the VAT tax is 14%. So what's 14%? Well, this is going to be 14%, which is the same as 14 divided by 100, okay? 14 divided by 100 of what? 14 divided by 100 of the same price, that is 14 divided by 100 of bins times 97972, okay? So what is this going to be altogether? Well, let's see what we can get from this. This would be the what? The price, VAT inclusive. If we include VAT, let's see what the price is going to be. So it's going to be this amount of money that we have to add to what? That we have to add to the VAT, which is 0.14, that is 14% off. 14% off, 14% off. Wait, no, not this one here. I made a mistake, sorry for that. This is supposed to be 3,888, yes. So it's going to be 14% of that, 14% of 3,888. 38, yes. This gives us 4,400. So VAT inclusive, we are going to have 4,400 and what? 4,432.32 and 32.32. Yes. So VAT inclusive is the second price here. For all the tires, VAT inclusive, we will be having this. Okay. Now, VAT exclusive for the 4 tires, this is what we are going to be having. VAT exclusive, this is what we'll be having for the 4 tires. VAT inclusive, this is what we are going to be having. So how much he will pay for his tire? Yes, he will pay this VAT inclusive. And that's how we calculate VAT, the value added tax, which is the tax which is imposed on every item each time a value is added onto it. Each time a value is added onto an item, there is what? There is a tax which is levied on that item. That tax is called the value added tax. And yes, that leads us to what? To the end of our discussion of today. We will continue with that next time. And thanks for that, your presence.